Hello and welcome to a healthy, happy hips flow. This is going to be a beginner-friendly sequence. You might want to prepare a pillow and some blocks if you have. If you don't have blocks at home, maybe find some books or get creative with something else you have at home, and take whichever option is suitable for you and your body at this stage, and remember to listen to your body for feedback. We're going to focus on stretching out those hip flexors. They can get very tight, and we'll do a tiny bit of mobility work as well. So let's start seated as always. Roll the shoulders back, lift the spine nice and tall, close down the eyes, and we'll just begin by tuning into the breath and turning our attention inwards and to the present moment. Noticing the sitting bones grounded into the floor. Feeling the crown of the head reach up towards the ceiling or the sky, depending on where you're practicing. Notice the depth of the breath as it passes down through the chest, maybe even down to the belly. Feeling it expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. Breathing in and out the nose. And just knowing that breathing is always an important part of a practice, but especially when we're thinking of flexibility and opening up and releasing tension, the breath can guide our muscles to relaxation. So it's a really important part. Maybe setting an intention for your practice today. And then opening up the eyes. Bringing the feet out in front of you on the floor, fingers facing towards you just behind, and we're going to start just windshield wiping. We like to call it the legs side to side, allowing the hips to come up. So inhale to center, exhale to the side. Inhale to center, exhale to side. So moving with your breath. And then you have the option to continue doing this, or you might want to challenge your mobility and see if you can do it without the hands supporting you. So taking whichever option works for you, using a little bit of strength work here, a little bit of core as well. Inhale to center, exhale. Good. Wherever you are, doing one more each side. And then coming down to your left, you're going to keep the legs down where they land and just taking a slight adjustment, making sure that the legs are 90 degrees, and then the foot can come to the top of the knee, and you can just come and fold over the left knee with the upper body. So just allow the head to relax. It's a really subtle pose, a really subtle stretch. You might already be feeling it in the left hip flexor. Just taking a few breaths here. And if the head doesn't come down to the hands, this is where it might be nice to use a block or a pillow. Great, and then coming up, and we'll take the same on the other side. Folding over the right leg. Allowing the upper body to just relax and be free of any tension in the face. And come up. And then come all the way around to your tabletop. We're going to bring the big toes to touch and sit all the way back to the heels. Maybe the hips don't reach the heels yet, that's okay. Spread the fingers out long and find a nice wide leg child's pose. And just bring your awareness to the hips. Maybe you're feeling some sensations there as they open, maybe not. And then we're going to start by doing some circles. And the hips are going to lead the circle. So looking forward towards the hands. Inhale, drawing forward with the hips. Exhale as you come all the way back, allowing the hips to guide the movement as well as the breath. So again, I encourage you to move with your own rhythm and your own breath, but just try to make that slow and intentional. Nice big circles, creating space. And then changing direction of those circles. Maybe you start to deepen the breath. And then come back to tabletop. So wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders, knees are stacked underneath the hips, and we're going to be now drawing circles with our knees. So lifting the right knee up and making nice big circles here. Doesn't matter which direction you're starting with, really. And again, moving with your breath. Maybe inhale to come out, exhale as you come in. And then changing direction of those circles. Trying not to just completely relax and hunch into the back. Keep pushing the floor away with the hands and keep long in the arms. And then placing that knee back down, and we'll do the same on the other side. Left leg drawing nice circles. Moving in one direction. And then change direction. Last one. Place it down. Tuck the toes and lift the hips nice and high, finding a downward facing dog. Looking up to the belly and really feeling the length in the spine. Tailbone reaching high. Armpits are hugging towards each other. Heels are moving down towards the floor. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're touching yet. Looking towards the belly as you just breathe here. And then place the knees down. And you're going to step the right foot in between the hands. So you're in a low lunge. And you can keep that back toe tucked for stability, or you can place it down. It's up to you. Using the strength of the core to bring the torso up, nice and straight, and then interlace the fingers, finding Kali Mudra. Index finger is pointing up towards the sky, finding length in the spine. And you are kind of getting a stretch here, but you're also working a bit of strength. You might feel the inner thighs are kind of squeezing towards each other to encourage you to find that stability here. Breathing here. Also allowing the breath to gravitate the hips towards the floor a bit deeper. Exhale, bring the arms down to frame the foot, and you're going to heel toe the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. So you're in a lizard pose here, so spreading the fingers on the mat, tucking the back toe and lifting the knee, and you're just going to start rocking forward and back. Remembering that the neck is an extension of the spine, so trying not to just collapse here, keeping a long spine. And then we're going to drop that back knee down, and you have a few options here. Maybe you want to stay here, maybe this is enough of an intense stretch here. Maybe you want to use your blocks or whatever you're using for support to bring the forearms down if you're ready for that. So this is your second option. If you feel open enough, but take your time, you can come down to your forearms on the floor, depending on where your body is today. And remember that our bodies are different every single day. So these poses don't feel the same. And we're just going to take a couple of moments here to breathe. So our bodies can tense up as we release the tension in the body. Especially in the hips, the jaw can start to become really tight. So just becoming aware of all the muscles in our face. And try to just relax the top of the head down If the forearms are down and the head kind of hovers up, you can also use a block to support your head like this. This feels quite good. We basically want to just relax any tension that's not serving us whilst we're in this pose. So relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face, becoming very aware of the right hip. And now maybe your fight or flight mode has switched on. Maybe your brain is telling you to quickly get out of this pose, to fidget and to move. And we're just gonna take some deep breaths to communicate to our body that we're safe here and that we can let go. Taking one more nice, full, intentional breath. And slowly coming out of the posture. Heel toe the right foot back to the midline and place it back to meet the other knee. And you can just shift the hips side to side, maybe already noticing a difference between each side. And we will now bring the left foot into the midline and between the hands, preparing for our lunge. So either tucking that back toe or keeping it flat. Interlace the fingers, index finger pointing up towards the sky, finding length in the spine as you reach the finger up higher. And then allowing those hips to gravitate towards the floor and squeezing those inner thighs towards each other for stability and for balance. Breathing here. And exhale. Bring the hands back down to frame the foot. Heel toe the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Finding your lizard lunge, tucking the back toe, lifting the knee, and just starting to shift forward and back. As we encourage a gentle opening on the other side. And this side might feel different to the other, and that's okay too. It's quite common to have a slight imbalance in both sides, depending on how our everyday posture is or how we're sitting. This can all have an effect. So dropping that back knee down and maybe staying here, maybe coming onto your blocks, taking the variation that works best for you here. Never mind about what I'm doing. I'm just here to show you how it could look, but it doesn't mean that it should look like this. And then when you have a moment, just tuning back into the body to relax unnecessary tension that we might be holding onto in our jaw, in our cheeks, and all the muscles in the face, the arms, the shoulders, the spine. And start to visualize the tension leaving your left hip flexor. With every exhale, tension is leaving your body. And with every inhale, you breathe in a sense of openness and calm. Exhaling tension, inhaling calm. Resisting that temptation and urge you might have to move. Taking one more breath. And slowly making your way back up. Walking the foot to the midline and then bringing the knees back. And again, just moving side to side. Tucking the toes and finding a downward facing dog. And you're going to bring the left knee towards the left wrist to find pigeon pose. Now, it might be easier for you to drop the knees to do that. It's up to you. So either way, the left knee is going to come to the the right knee. The right knee is going to come to the right wrist. And that back leg is going to come long. So the left leg is long, right knee to right wrist. And then you can use your pillow here to support the hip. So if you just place it underneath the right butt, it's going to be Quite a nice supportive way to keep those hips in line, as we don't want to be sinking into the right hip here. And the right leg, eventually we want to try and work towards it becoming parallel towards the front of the mat. But if that's not happening for you right now, that doesn't matter. And then we're going to bring the fingertips down to the floor, and we're going to flow 3 times up and down with the spine. So we're going to inhale, find length. Exhale to fold. Head and neck come the last. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold, and this time staying down on the forearms if this is available to you. If this is too much, you can come out, or again, you can use your blocks, and we're just going to stay here for 3 breaths. And I just encourage you to really think about deepening your breath here. Taking one more breath. And slowly coming up, releasing the support if you're using it, and bring that leg all the way back and find downward facing dog, maybe pedaling out the feet up and down. And then we're going to do the left side. So however you got there on the other side, left knee to left wrist. It doesn't have to be graceful, don't worry. Right leg is long, and then if you want to use your support, I'll just show you how. You can just place it under the hip, and then if you want to try and work towards bringing that shin parallel to the front of the mat, but this is a beginner's class, so that's, you know, it depends how your body is, okay? Maybe that's something that's quite natural to you, okay? And then bringing the fingertips to the floor, and we're going to flow up and down 3 times again. So inhale to lengthen, exhale, fold. Creating a wave with the spine, head and neck is coming up the last. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one, inhale up, exhale down, all the way down if it's available. And we're going to just relax here for 3 breaths. I say relax, but it doesn't necessarily mean it feels relaxing. But just remembering that the reward comes after the pose, I promise. One more deep, intentional breath here. And slowly come up. Coming back to tabletop and taking a final downward dog. Walking the heels up and down. And then placing the knees back down on the floor. And we're going to finish lying down. Going to take a reclined Superbadakanasana. So coming all the way down to the floor, and you're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and the knees are just spreading out nice and wide. If this feels really too intense, you can also place the blocks or pillows underneath the knees for some additional support. And then it's quite nice just to bring the arms up overhead and take hold of opposite elbows here. And we're just going to close the eyes. Allow gravity to do the work for us as we feel the knees coming down towards the floor. Closing the eyes and just relaxing. And trying to keep our awareness on the present moment. And this is the joy of a physical yoga practice, is that it's kind of a moving meditation because we're so focused on our body, on what's happening right now. And try to just let go of any to-do lists from the day. letting go of anything that needs to happen when you finish this practice. Trying to just be here in this moment. And just repeating the affirmation to yourself. I am enough, just as I am. I am enough, just as I am. And I just welcome you to stay here for as long as you feel comfortable. And just taking as long as you need to finish this practice slowly and in your own time. But thank you for joining, and I will see you next time. Namaste.